Hello, hello, and welcome once again. It's a pleasure to come your way. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how intentional are you in terms of bringing your children the way that you desire. This is an interesting question, and I believe that it is also a question that most of us haven't really thought about. And I want to get you to be thinking about this. And hopefully the points that I'm going to share with you would be points that you can use to kind of change how things are going around or going on with regards to how you are raising your children, and also to steer how you raise your children towards how you would like them to, how you would like to raise them, and then how you would like their life to be impacted by what you do. So I'm going to share up to 3 points, hopefully, and if I run out of points, obviously, I will just, I will have information to fill in the space anyway. Now, in terms of intentionally leading your children, there are a few points that I think are important when it comes to you leading your children and intentionally bringing up your children. Number one is to think about it, which most of us don't, unfortunately. So thinking about how am I going to raise this child? In fact, I haven't introduced myself, sorry. If we haven't met before, my name is Beatrice Yakubu. I'm the founder of Simple Family Business, and what we do is to help parents build fun, fruitful family business with their children. You cannot build a business with your child if you are not raising them intentionally. And that is why I'm doing this video, to get you to understand why is it important to do that, and what can you do to make sure that you are really, really raising your children intentionally. So number one is to think about it. There are so many conversations that I've had that literally you just realize that actually people are not thinking about their children's future. And when it comes to, okay, what would my child be doing in the future? How can I support them to do what they want to do? It is imperative as a parent that you think about these things, because if you just leave them to the system, guess what is going to happen? The system, they don't know what they're doing themselves. Look at what is going on in the government. Like, there is no petrol in the UK, for instance, right this minute. Why? Because people did not plan, people did not think, people did not think ahead in the sense that they didn't even know that, you know, when we leave Europe, just drivers alone can actually cause mayhem in our world, in the UK. So, and then those are the people that we are kind of entrusting our children for them to look after our children. They won't look after our children. I remember sometime when I used to tell my children, you know, when we were in the north, and Blessing used to misbehave, my eldest daughter, I would say, anybody that is coming to say they are coming to rescue you, they are doing it for money. And I also want you to perhaps get your children to understand that anybody that is coming to them to say that, oh, I have your interest at heart, and I'm coming to rescue you from your mom or your dad or your whoever, or your relatives for that matter, they are doing it for money. And that's the truth. Because if I were at work as a nurse and I see potential child abuse and I report it, I'm not necessarily reporting it because I really, really want to take away the child from the mother, but I'm doing it because as a duty, as my obligation, I have to do it. Now, with all due respect to social workers, for instance, but most of them don't even care about the child, you know. So if you are not intentionally bringing up your child, and your child gets to this point where social workers or whoever is in authority are poking their nose into your family affairs, it is not going to be in your child's interest. So please, you need to think about it. How do you want your child to grow up? What do you want your child to do? And of course, I'm not meaning that you single-handedly taking the decisions and then leaving the child out. It won't work. So you need, the reason why we are not having these conversations is because we're so busy working. And I say that because I was one of them. So that if you are doing something that allows you time to be with your children, it is more powerful and more impactful because you are going to be with them a longer time. And one, you'll be able to know them more than you would normally. And then also you would be able to have meaningful conversations with them every now and then to be able to understand what they really want and how you can support them. So that is really key. Number two is that once you think about it and then you have a discussion, you need to chat about what do my children, what can I do to support you? This is a model that Donnie teaches a lot in her program, Amazing Parents Gem, because she knows that, most of us as parents, we just wait and then the children finish primary school. We say, oh, which secondary school will they go to? Which one is nearer? And then we choose whichever is nearer. And that's what I used to do as well. And then the next thing is, sixth form, which one is the closest? And university, which one can they get in? That is not intentionally bringing them up. You need to think about every step of the way. And then in terms of that, so how can you then help them to achieve that, which is what subjects would they study? What do they like to do? What's extra curriculum? These are quite important things that we often don't talk about, but then it is important that we think about it. If you really, really want your child to have that, if you want to say that one day, I really actually looked after my children, intentionally raising your child involves so much. It is not so much that you can't do. It is just because we are not thinking about it, then it just falls on the wayside, and then the children just grow by default. You don't want that to happen. And I will share an example of you. For me, even when I was at home in Ghana, it used to be a case of like a child goes out and become pregnant, and then they come back and the parents are hitting them. And then like, oh, you have disgraced me, you have done all that, like, what did you do when the child was growing up? Did you even educate this child? Did you even have any conversation with this child? Nothing. You just leave them, and then they go out and then, end up in a certain way, and then we are the same people blaming them. So I just want to encourage you that you need to intentionally think about your child. You need to intentionally help them to model what they want to do, and then physically help them to put the things in place. So in fact, I talk about business a lot because I know that business is a personal development for the children. But of course, it is not just about business, it's about their life in its entirety. So my children don't just do business, they are learning as well, they're studying as well. But we have to do this intentionally so that even as they're learning, the learning is incongruent with what they want to do in the future. Like for me, when I was growing up, I wanted to be a nurse. And I would say that I wanted to be a nurse because of a senior sister I saw being a nurse. I would say that now. It wasn't not necessarily because I really loved to be by the bedside, because I can remember when I went to my first nursing practicals, it was difficult. But I loved doing nursing. I loved being a nurse. But if I had career guidance, for instance, I would have progressed within nursing really quickly because I love to learn. I didn't want to just be stuck. So I go to work and people are saying, oh, I've been here for 20 years. And I'm like carrying my hands in my head and thinking, is that where I'm supposed to be? No, I don't want to be at one place for 20 years. So in terms of you helping your child, you can help that child to be able to craft the career pathway so that, they know from this point, this is where I'm going. And if I'm saying this, I'm not just saying it because of saying sick. That is exactly what we did with my children. And then now each of them knows where they're going, and they know they love where they are going and they love what they are doing. And I feel that as a parent, that is something that you should pride yourself in, supporting your children to actually do what they love, because most of us parents, we can't do what we love because we did not align our values and our purpose with our career. So we just kind of chose anything, and then we grew up, and then it is not the best one, but then we have nothing to fall back on. And, pressures of life just keeps us where we are, and we are living unfulfilled life. I believe that our children should be given the opportunity to live the best life that they could ever live. And for that reason, you can only do that if you are intentionally bringing them up, and if you are thinking about them, and if you are planning with them, and if you are implementing with them. So those are the things, I didn't have a structure, but it ended up well. So you have to intentionally think about them, but think about your children. Where do you see them in the next 10 years, in the next 15 years? So start from 15 down. From 15, 10, 5, where do you see them? You need to be seeing them in these big places, and of course, when you keep seeing them and putting the work in, it will work out. And I just hope and pray that you take this literally as it is, because I believe that every parent can look after their child. In fact, I would say that there is a lot of sacrifice involved, and that you just have to be prepared to go through that. There's so much sacrifice that you perhaps your life doesn't even matter anymore. But it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, we are even going out and working in work that we don't really enjoy. So I might as well invest in my children, knowing that when they grow up, at least they don't have to repeat the cycle. For me, that has been my thinking. My children will not repeat this cycle of working in places that they don't want, having financial challenges that I have had growing up, and still as an adult, still having challenges. Intentionally, I have to make sure that everything that they are doing is gearing them towards their own happiness, in terms of what they do, and also them being financially independent and to live the life that I could never have dreamed of. And I think that was my mom's prayer for me. And indeed, that's my prayer for my children. And that is my prayer for you and for your children, that you take the step and get your children to where you intentionally want them to be, so that they are not influenced by anyone else but you. Thank you so much for listening. Take care, and I will come your way once again next week.